Spider-Man Far From Home has been out for a few days now, so it's time to talk some spoilers, which is an obvious spoiler warning. If you haven't seen Far From Home yet, don't watch this video, but if you have, welcome, let's jump right into it. So the big twist in this film is that Mysterio is actually the bad guy all along. All the elemental stuff is just an illusion created by some technology that he made back when he was working at Stark Industries. He wants to be seen as kind of like the new Iron Man, sort of, with him coming in and saving the world from the elementals and him being a really awesome superhero, so everyone's going to look up to him and get all the glory that Tony Stark got because he feels like Tony Stark cheated him out of his technology or disrespected his life's work by calling it the BARF technology from Civil War. And that's what I meant in my spoiler-free video when I said that the direction it goes in wasn't entirely unexpected, because back when they first said that Mysterio was going to be a good guy teaming up with Spider-Man, we all sat there and said, well, he's clearly going to be playing them. He's clearly going to be faking it all and is clearly going to be the villain after all. So when Mysterio is sat in the bar and all the projections start disappearing, I was like, ooh, so they are going that direction. But it wasn't like an, oh my god, was not expecting that kind of switch, you know what I mean? Because that's what we all thought was going to happen. But the things that happen in the second half with the Mysterio illusion sequences, where it takes Spider-Man through those really trippy sequences of going through all these different weird illusions, I really dug those scenes a lot. It kind of reminded me of the Scarecrow nightmare sequences from the Batman Arkham games, where he has to fight things that aren't there and it's tapping into fears and all that kind of stuff, and I really dug it on that psychological level. And I kind of see Mysterio to Spider-Man as Scarecrow to Batman, where physically him as a guy is not very intimidating, or it doesn't pose that much of a physical threat. It's all psychological, and they've got to battle through the imagery and the illusions and all the different things that the villain's making them see. And that's what I loved about Mysterio in this film. He's not the physical threat, it's the psychological threat. And getting to the climax of the film where Mysterio is staging that final illusion with that last elemental attack in London, Spider-Man goes in there and starts fighting off all these drones and trying to take Mysterio down. The one thing that I loved about that, and I thought about this in retrospect, is that the stakes of that sequence seem apocalyptic because of Mysterio's illusions, but underneath it all, it's just Mysterio trying to kill Spider-Man's friends because they're the only ones who know that Mysterio is a fraud, and Spider-Man is just trying to save his friends. I just love that, especially coming off of Endgame with the apocalyptic end of the universe stakes. I just love how scaled down the stakes are in Far From Home. It just goes to show that every Marvel film and every superhero film doesn't have to be saving the world or saving the city. It could just be saving your best friends. And that is just something that really hits me about this film, and it just ties back into that whole teen romance thing with Peter and MJ and the friendship between Peter and Ned, the whole high school element. That's just what I love about these Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man films. There were some really funny parts of this film that I didn't want to ruin in my first video, especially the In Memoriam thing at the very beginning, where the song by Whitney Houston starts playing and I Will Always Love You. It comes up with In Memoriam. At first I thought it was going to be a Peter Parker made thing because it kind of felt similar to Homecoming when it says a film by Peter Parker, but it cuts into that deliberately poorly made compilation of like Tony Stark, Captain America, Black Widow and Vision, and it just looks like it was made on Windows Movie Maker in 2010 or something, and it's made by the high school TV show that we saw in Homecoming where they're all being really deliberately awkward, Betsy Brandt and that other guy who's the guy from Bumblebee, and they're just there saying gone but not forgotten, and I just thought that was so funny, so genius and so clever, great way to open the film. And also the Edith glasses with the whole Stark Industries technology in them that Peter gets given to him by Tony Stark, you know, post death, and Edith standing for even dead I'm the hero. That's just brilliant. That's just so Tony Stark in every single way. Another joke I really liked in the first half was when Mr. Harrington talks about how his wife faked dying in the snap, but in reality she just ran off with another person. Kind of tragic for Mr. Harrington, but just a hilarious joke nonetheless. But now let's talk about the thing that everybody's losing their mind over with this film, the mid-credit scene. We see Spider-Man and MJ swing back down to the streets. They obviously get together at the end of the film. Really great moment. That was the moment on the bridge where they like kiss and embrace, where I was kind of like nearly tearing up a little bit. But yeah, we cut to the mid-credit scene. They've been swinging around and they land on the street, and then this big thing comes on the screen. I think it's Madison Square Garden, a breaking news thing. And you see this footage of Mysterio just before Mysterio dies, which he died in the finale, I forgot to mention. And he basically reveals to the world that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And that's like a big, what? And that's yeah, that's like a really great cliffhanger setup for the next Spider-Man film. But the thing that everyone's losing their minds over is that it cuts to the person who broke this news, J. Jonah Jameson of the Daily Bugle, and it's J.K. Bloody Simmons once again playing the character. And I was just like, oh my god. I mean, it was just amazing to see him back and to see him spew out that dialogue, you know, Spider-Man's a menace, and calling Mysterio the greatest superhero of all time. And I love how he's kind of like an Alex Jones kind of figure, because he's sat at the desk with the screen behind him. He's not just the guy in the newspaper room going, give me pictures of Spider-Man. It was just brilliant to see JK back as that character. And the setup for the next Spider-Man film, with everyone now knowing that he's Spider-Man, that's really interesting. And that's why I love these Tom Holland Spider-Man films as well, because Marvel are doing something different with each one of them. Homecoming being the straight up high school film, Far From Home having him go to different countries around the world, and now Spider-Man 3, Tom Holland Spider-Man 3, everyone now knows it is Spider-Man. That's a concept that they haven't explored in a live action Spider-Man film before, so bravo to Marvel and Sony for exploring new territory of these Spider-Man films. They're doing a really great job. And the Vacation song in the credits as well, the Vacation by the Go-Go's, that was a song from the Vacation episode from Rugrats. I was just like, oh my god, like nostalgic goosebumps like popped up all over. So that was really cool as well. There actually wasn't as many spoilerific things that I wanted to talk about, just the Mysterio stuff, because, you know, that's a spoiler and whatnot. I mean, the first half of the film, it's entertaining and really fun, but nothing like super special happens in the first half. It's Spider-Man, Mysterio fighting the elementals, and there's some cool action scenes, especially the one in Prague, I think it is, where Spider-Man's in the stealth suit and Mysterio fighting the molten creature. The water creature sequence in Venice, that was a lot of fun. But there just wasn't a lot of spoilerific things in that first half that was super worth mentioning, apart from the in memoriam joke. So those are my spoilerific thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home. I liked Mysterio as the antagonist, and seeing Spider-Man fight a psychological threat rather than a full-on physical threat was just a nice change of pace, and I really enjoyed seeing it. And again, those personal stakes of the final act were just really nice to see for a really scaled down superhero film about a guy, well, a kid, just saving his friends. I absolutely loved Far From Home. From beginning to end, it was just so much fun, so exciting, so heartfelt, so sweet. I'm just in love with this film. Thanks for watching as always. Let me know your spoiler-filled thoughts on Spider-Man Far From Home when you get a chance to see it. And if you want to see more of my stuff, as always, click on one of these in a second, and I'll see you all next time.